It's story time!
It's story time.
Shy Tales Studios.
In a quiet, forgotten village, far away from the noise of cities, lived a young man named Daniel. People in the village had a name for him. They called him Lazy. Not because he couldn't work, but because he wouldn't. Daniel had dreams, big, beautiful dreams. He talked about owning businesses, building a better house for his family, and escaping poverty. But every morning, while others woke up to work in the fields, Daniel stayed in bed, telling himself, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next year. And slowly, life began to close in on him. Daniel lived with his grandfather, an old man named Kofi. Kofi was poor. His clothes were worn. His house was small. But his eyes carried something rare, wisdom. One evening, as the sun melted into the horizon, Daniel sat outside, frustrated and hungry. "Grandfather," he sighed, "why is life so hard? Why do we struggle like this?" Kofi looked at him quietly, then said something strange. "Because you are trying to save money." Daniel frowned. "What? But isn't saving money a good thing?" The old man shook his head slowly. "No, not the way you understand it." Daniel was confused. "All my life, people say, save money, save money. Now you're telling me, never save?" Kofi smiled faintly. "Listen carefully," he said. "Money is like a seed. If you hide it in your pocket, it will never grow. But if you plant it, even though you lose it for a time, it can multiply." Those words hit Daniel, but he didn't fully understand. "Plant money?" he asked. "Yes," Kofi replied. "Use it, risk it, make it work. Money that sleeps dies. Money that works lives." Daniel kept thinking about those words. But habits are hard to break. He still delayed, still waited, still did nothing, until one day, everything changed. That morning, there was no food left in the house. No rice, no bread, nothing. Hunger is a powerful teacher, stronger than comfort, stronger than laziness. Daniel felt something he had never truly felt before: desperation. He ran to his grandfather. "We have nothing left," he said. "What do we do?" Kofi reached into his old wooden box and pulled out a small amount of money. It wasn't much, just enough to survive a few days. He handed it to Daniel. "This is your seed," he said. Daniel looked at the money. His first instinct? Save it. Hide it. Protect it. But then he remembered. Money that sleeps dies. For the first time in his life, Daniel made a different choice. Instead of buying food alone, he went to the market. He bought a few oranges, not many, just a small basket. That day, Daniel stood by the roadside, calling out to passers-by, "Fresh oranges! Sweet oranges!" At first, people ignored him. Some laughed. "Isn't that the lazy boy?" they whispered. Daniel felt shame burn inside him. He wanted to quit, but hunger pushed him forward. By evening, he had sold all the oranges. The profit? Small, very small, but it was something. For the first time, Daniel didn't just spend money, he grew it. That night, he returned home. He placed the money in front of his grandfather. Kofi smiled. "You see," he said softly, "you didn't save money. You made it work." The next day, Daniel did it again, and again, and again. Each day the basket grew bigger. Each week, his profit increased. Months passed. The boy once called lazy was now the hardest worker in the village. He expanded from oranges to other fruits, then vegetables. Then, a small stall. Years later, Daniel stood in front of a shop. Not just any shop, his shop. People came from nearby villages to buy from him. He had employees. He had respect. And most importantly, he had changed. One evening, he sat beside his grandfather again, just like the old days. "Grandfather," he said, his voice filled with gratitude, "that advice you gave me changed my life." Kofi looked at him gently. "Do you understand it now?" he asked. Daniel nodded, "Yes. Saving money is not enough. If you only save, you limit your future. But when you invest, work, and take responsibility, you create it." The old man smiled and closed his eyes, peacefully, proudly. Sometimes, the problem isn't that we don't have enough money. The problem is that we don't know what to do with the little we have. Don't let your money sleep. Don't let your dreams wait. Start small, but start now. Because even the smallest seed, when planted with courage, can grow into a future you never imagined.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the story, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories like this.